How's it going? Welcome to episode 11 of Fucking About in the Shed with Matt, and February 2023. Feels like first month kind of just disappeared. Not much really actually happened, or lots happened, went fast. Anyway, today my little test is pretty much for myself. I'm going to bring you guys on a little bit of a journey to show you some Rubio Monocoat, which is my preferred surface finish for most things, because it's easy, it's nice, it leaves the timber feeling really nice and sort of natural, and it doesn't take too long to sort of set or be ready to use. You may have seen on my Instagram that the Oil Plus 2C is what I generally use, and that it has recently been given the red list free status, I believe, or certainly at this point in time it is the only product in Australia that has that tick of approval, I suppose. Makes it safe. It is a nice product. And I use it a lot for various different things. What we're going to do today, however, is look at something other than the 2C Pure, which is the clear or natural finish. I'm going to look at four new colours for me. So there are a lot of colours that Rubio does for their for this product to change the colour of the timber, like a stain would. I went out and bought myself a little test kit. I've got four colours. I've got a little bit of accelerator, and so today we're going to go through a little bit of a journey. You're going to see how it works and how we use it, and you'll see how easy it is in relation or in comparison to other finishes. So there are some that are a bit easier but not as good. There are some that are better, but a lot more work and effort, and not necessarily reflected in that extra effort is a significant improvement in the quality of the finish. This is a really good product. So for now, what we're going to do is we're going to mix up some stuff. What I've got is my old board from a previous video, which has got some polyurethane on here. I'm going to put some Rubio on here. This is a sample for me to show a client or a customer what the different products feel like right next to each other. And I've got this board here, and it is all labelled up for the four colours and the pure, and then I'm going to leave this top section and the text for most of them untreated, so then the surface finish for the colour and the natural or the pure has a reference point. And so from there we will mix up some product, put it on, and yeah, we'll see how it works. Right, so here we go. I've already filled up my syringe here with a measure of the accelerator, so that we can chuck that in the little thingies I've got. We've got some mixing stuff and some measuring stuff, and we'll go through and do the thing, labelling everything as we go, because mixing it up will probably be unhelpful. Now what we've got here is a teaspoon, which is 5 ml. It's a 3:1 ratio for the product itself and then and the accelerator. So number five. Take that out. Got a little bit of a thing on top where I think there's a problem. Stick that in there. I'm making what will essentially be a 6.5, 7 milliliter mix. This is a lot more than will be needed to do the surface area we have here, but it is kind of, given the equipment that I've got and the accuracy needed, it's about as small as I can go without risking the stuff not working properly. The accelerator makes the full complete cure time 5 days. It's around 21 if you don't use the accelerator. The reality is it feels ready to use almost straight away, you know, within 10 or 15 minutes of actually doing, like completing the process. It feels ready fairly quickly. So we'll do a bit of a measure here. And then this one will be the pure or the untinted one.
Do a double measure, which still isn't much, but just to make sure I've got plenty for the 2 bits that I want to do today.
And then you basically just give it a good mix. Mixing is not difficult. It's probably harder on a smaller volume like this than it is if you're mixing up a volume that is, you know, more suited to a larger surface area. If you're doing a tabletop, or you know, a bench that is 60 or 70 centimeters wide and, you know, 1.8 meters long, obviously you're going to mix up a lot more. It is remarkably efficient. The cost per surface area is about the same as a really good quality polyurethane. Maybe even it's a bit cheaper. Certainly for me, the ease of use and how quickly you can get the finish to do what it's supposed to do is a really big deal. The other thing, and you'll notice this as we do it, if you're spraying polyurethane or putting it on with a brush, you've got to be pretty clean. Dust in the air can ruin a nice finish. Whereas with this, as long as you do it right, a little bit of dust in the air, it doesn't matter because it's all going to get rubbed off, as you see. So we can start with number 16, which will be the ice brown. That's this one here. This is 3M white Scotch-Brite. I've got a box of it for a reasonable price, and literally this is how you apply it on. You soak some of the stuff up, rub it in, go to the edge there, give it a nice thing. Rub it in. And it's literally this difficult. That's pretty much as difficult as it gets for doing this job. Now where are we? Number 5, black. Right, make sure that's mixed. Very good. Grab my little Scotch-Brite, soaking up some stuff. Like I didn't mix much, maybe I needed more. That looks about right. The other thing you can do, you can pick it up and just wipe it on with your glove. It's not terribly difficult to literally use your glove as well. I think, and Rubio themselves recommend using the Scotch-Brite to apply it. It's probably something to do with scratching the surface a little bit as it's applied. This timber has been sanded to 240, which is kind of, I think they recommend 120 on the box, but I do 240 just because it feels right. Right, where are we? Number 5, black. Alright, so this is number 38, walnut.
actually quite interesting. You can see there straight away how the grain of the pine, because that's all this sample board is affected by the stain in the walnut. Rubio there. Pretty happy with how that looks. Get that up there out of the way, while we...
Last one, number 17, mahogany. I picked these colours kind of at random, but a little bit of me was like, you know, pick colours that you would like. The mahogany's not as red, like the ice brown has got more red in it than this at this point. Once we're done, we'll get a bit of a better idea of how it impacts the timber. There we go. Rub that in, chuck that back in there. So what's interesting here, and you can see that as you follow me doing this, the way the product has gone on with the different colours is slightly different between each version. We'll give this another bit of a mix. We'll put the pure on, we'll also do the pure on the other one, and then we'll we wait about 10 or 15 minutes. That's probably a bit much, but whatever. And then we'll come back, and I've got some little polished cloths, and we'll buff each one back in the same fashion that I would do a client's piece of stuff. Give that a good rub. Might need a little bit extra, see how that goes. So what's important with this product is nothing else on the surface. So this bonds with the cellulose in the timber. So if you've got other polyurethane or oil on the surface, it won't work as well. Having said that, I use it over the top of epoxy, and it gives a really nice finish. With the epoxy, I would sand the epoxy to 400 and the timber to 240, and you get a oh yeah, I get a really good finish. If you're on, check out my Instagram, the serving boards that I do, the epoxy in there looks awesome with this product on it. Right, so there we have it. The samples are done. All we've got to do now is wait our 15 minutes, and we'll come back and we'll do the next stage of the process. Right, so been 10 or 15 minutes, and basically the next step is you buff it back. I use a bit of towel. It's disposable, so when the job is done and you've finished wiping it back, the product has an accelerator in it to cure. Once it sets, it's quite hard, so you can't really use the towel more than once. There we go. I'll probably use a different side on that. Should do the next one. So we'll get the excess off, and then we'll come back and give it a bit more of a buff. But it really is this simple. You really don't have to expend a lot of effort to get this finish done and the timber sealed, and certainly with the pure, so no tint, it is food safe, and it feels natural. I think one of the things that I find is a regular comment with the pure certainly is the timber still feels like timber. It doesn't feel like it's got plastic on top. It doesn't feel unnatural. So there we have it. Turn that around so you can see. Right, that is as easy as it gets as far as the surface finish. I'm reasonably happy with the way this has turned out as far as the colour samples go. I'm actually really liking the black. The walnut hasn't done as much perhaps as I expected, but these colours are, you can see here, even the pure just brings the colour out. You can see here that golden colour there has come out quite nicely. The ice brown, it's nice, it's a different colour, but I really like the way the black and the pure is interesting there, the black, and maybe the mahogany as well. They will certainly behave differently on different varieties of timber. You can see here the mountain gum, and actually can't even tell you what that red one is, but the mountain gum here is different, different reaction to the pure as the pine. It's lifted the colours out rather than and sort of highlight them like the pine has. And if you have a look here, you can see the difference between the poly and the Rubio. Visually, there's actually not a lot in it, but the amount of effort, significantly less for the Rubio, and this feels much, even I've got gloves on, but I can tell you this Rubio finish feels much closer to timber than the poly does. So there we go. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys have a fabulous afternoon, evening, morning, whatever time you're watching, and we will be back at some point with something else interesting to look at. Meantime, take care of yourself.